Howdy folks, welcome back to Grumpy Viking Tactical. I am your host, Mighty Bjorn, and today for you, got a bit of a gear tutorial as I'm going to take and put together a first aid pack for hiking and camping and things of that nature. And this is more of a boo-boo pack, if you will, to supplement my AFAK that I have on my tactical rig. And like I said, it's just a general first aid kit. This will also supplement this here. This is actually a basic, it's a minor surgery kit that's got things like a scalpel, it's got scissors in it, as well as it's got tweezers. So this is something that I also plan on packing with this in my pack. Now what I recommend is when you're picking out one of these packs is making sure that you get a pack that has a logo on it, as well as if you plan on actually getting a pack like this. This one's kind of got some versatility to it because it can be attached to like a molly rig or like a battle belt or something like that, and it's actually got a quick release system. If you're planning on attaching something like this to a tactical rig, don't get a bright color like this, but this is just planned at, like I said, as a boo-boo pack for my backpack, or like a day bag, or my camel backpack, anything along those lines. So basically when it came to the bright red color, didn't really matter. Actually, I wanted the bright red color to make it easy to find. Now the first thing I'm going to do to start off with, so I'm going to take actually a permanent marker. So that's one thing you're going to need, and you might want to write a list of stuff. Understand, I'm doing this in real time. I actually don't really have like a pre-made list of stuff for you here. So go ahead, do this in real time. But the first thing I would do is take a permanent marker. Let me adjust this patch here. No, I actually had it right the first time. I'll take this permanent marker here, and I'm going to write OPAWS on the cross of the first aid patch logo, like so. The reason I'm going to do that is because that's my blood type. Now, if I had any allergies, I would also write that down on the pack as well, which actually I do have that upside down. That's fine. I can rip that off and slap that back on there. OPAWS, see, I'm O positive. And that's just in case, I don't know, you're found out in the woods, you're unconscious, they pull your pack out of your bag and they find that. Also recommend that as well, like in case you attach this to your tactical rig, they know what blood type you are. I'd also recommend, like maybe on the inside, which I got to open this up, maybe on the inside writing any allergies down, or even like on a card and have it laminated, writing your if you have any allergies, writing that down. So that way, if someone does find you, they have that information handy, or as well as any medical conditions such as, diabetes or low blood pressure or anything along those lines. So make sure you keep that handy for people. Now, since this is just a boo-boo pack, essentially, this is just a basic first aid kit for camping and hiking. It's going to be a lot of Band-Aids, gauze pads, things of that nature. So basically we're going to start with just some basic Band-Aids here. Now one thing I'm also going to do is, even though this bag is made of nylon and this bag is actually waterproof, I'm still going to pack this stuff in Ziploc bags just to add to the moisture resistance and to essentially keep the stuff a bit more waterproof. So I'll put the Band-Aids in here, even though I just pulled them out, but I just wanted to show you that yes, they are Band-Aids. And actually that's one thing I'd carry a lot of, because you're going to get a lot of nicks and scratches. And the thing to understand with camping and stuff like that, that's probably realistically going to be one of your more common injuries, is nicks, scratches, and abrasions, especially minor ones. So we got a nice little loop here. I don't know, we'll just slide those through the little loop. Another thing that's probably a good idea to keep handy Things like first aid tape. This is a good thing to keep handy, as well as like the gauze wrap. I like this self-sticking stuff. This is actually really good. I love this stuff. I actually got 2 rolls of it, 2 small rolls here, and I'm going to throw those in the pack here as well. Once I figure out how I'm going to get them positioned, I might end up throwing them over here on this side. Yeah, I'll figure that out in a little bit. Now this here, this is mule skin, okay? This is for blisters. Essentially, you got to cut a piece of this off and you stick it fast, and you just use it to cover up your blister. Definitely very handy to keep around, for especially if you're hiking. Of course, I got some gauze pads, fairly decent size, so you're going to want to keep, obviously, first aid tape handy. Also got some larger adhesive band-aids, which I'm also going to put in the kit here. I'm going to put those in the kit now, actually. And then I will put the gauze pads in here as well. Put that little piece of mule skin in here, which actually I have that on a shopping list to get more of that, because I actually do need some more of that. And I would definitely recommend keeping a decent amount of that handy too, because that's one of those things that is going to be a common occurrence thing, is going to be blisters on your feet, especially if you're hiking. And blisters, trust me, I can tell you from being in the service, blisters on your feet suck. Alcohol pads. I suggest keeping a decent amount of these. I think I have about 20 here. 1, 2. I have 21 here. I could probably use more, but we're only going to go with 21 for now. And those, the nice thing about alcohol wipes is, first off, you're going to want to keep your wounds clean. Any wounds you get, cuts, etc. The alcohol wipes are great for that. As well as if you just need to clean your hands, they work fine as a moist towelette. Yeah, your hands will smell like rubbing alcohol, but trust me, when it comes to being out in the field, one of the most important things is hygiene and hydration, actually. But one of the most important things is hygiene, because the last thing you want to get when you are out in the field is dysentery. And the easiest way to get dysentery is poor hygiene. I'll slide those in there. Another thing to keep, I would say, in a boo-boo pack is keep a tube of Neosporin, or not Neosporin, I don't know why I said Neosporin. Although I do keep Neosporin in there, but I'll get into that in a little bit. A little bit of lip balm. I keep an extra tube in there, and this is just in case I forget to pack one. You're going to be out in the sun. If you're, backpacking in the fall when it's windy, you might get, cracked lips from, just the wind. It's in the winter time as well. So it's kind of a creature comfort thing. Just the chapped lips thing. It's just nice to have. And it doesn't take much space, and it's nice. Neosporin. Definitely keep something like this handy. I highly recommend Neosporin. I actually got Neosporin here. And I actually have a couple of extra little packs of antibiotic cream that I'm also going to be throwing in here as well. Another thing to keep it handy, the only reason I'm keeping this handy, I have actually one of those head press thermometers where you press on your forehead to take temperature. I don't think that's really a requirement, but I do recommend keeping some Q-tips handy, which is why I keep the thermometer handy, because basically the thermometer came in the case. I actually bought this for the case, and it was cheap. So got the thermometer, the case, and I can slide a couple Q-tips in there to keep it that handy. I do recommend that. That's a good way for applying Neosporin and stuff like that. And the case actually keeps the Q-tips waterproof. Now let's see what else we got to throw in here. We still got the tape. So I do kind of have a medical condition. I have actually herniated disc and things of that nature with my lower back. So I need a bottle of Lifer candy. So normally I pack a bottle of Lifer candy in my backpack, but I'm also going to pack a bottle of it in my first aid kit just to make sure I have a backup bottle and to make sure I always have a bottle. And this, I have a cotton ball in here to help reduce any sound. Of course, there's still sound, but it does help reduce it. As well as I'm going to put that in a Ziploc bag to help keep it waterproof as well. And besides, it's always good to have a little bit of pain relievers laying around. You never know when you may need it, especially in field conditions. There's a reason why it is in every medic, I swear to God, in the Army has tons of that stuff. It's one of the most common things. So we still have the bandages here, and I still have a roll of first aid tape to fit in here. The bandages I can put like so. The first aid tape I'll slide in here. And then I also have a pair of scissors, just little scissors. Even though I have scissors in here, I still want to keep a small pair as just a backup. Because if I decide to just kind of take these out, you know, take this out of my pack and maybe attach it to my belt or my rig, or just throw this in my day pack. Like if I'm going to put this in my day pack, I'm not going to carry this as well. So I'll take the tweezers out of here. I'll throw the tweezers in this, although I may end up buying tweezers for this as well. I'll just throw this in my day pack. This is more for my 3-day assault pack, or my Alice pack, if you will, type setup. Now we got to try to zip this up. Which, as you can see, there's no problem. Now, one more piece of equipment. A survival blanket. And I do recommend keeping one of these on you whenever you're camping. And I think actually a good place to keep this, I've been actually thinking about this for a while, where's a good place to keep a survival blanket? And honestly, I think a good place to keep it is actually in the boo-boo pack. Or if you have a dedicated emergency pack that's got emergency rations or stuff like that, that might be a good place to keep this. But I think this is one of the best places probably to keep an emergency blanket as well. But so there you go, folks. That's really going to cover this video on building just a simple first aid kit for hiking and camping and things of that nature. Nothing super high speed, low drag, but something as simple as this could depend on survival. Anyway, folks, hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully I'll see you again for my next video, and have yourself a wonderful day.